That's one small step for man.
Out for the.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Here's What's Going On podcast with me, AJ. We'll jump right into the ABCs, AJ's Book Corner. We're reading the book The Women's War, the third book called Mother of All by Jenna Glass. Yes, I'm still reading it because I'm enjoying reading it. I'm not trying to rush through it like I used to in the beginning. When Shandlix rose from the obligatory curtsy, Alice couldn't resist the urge to give her friend a hug. Shandlix laughed and patted her back. "One would think you hadn't seen me for months," Shandlix quipped, although she returned the hug with enthusiasm. Alice squeezed a little tighter, then reluctantly let go. "I've seen my Lady Chancellor every day, and my niece's mother nearly as often, but I can't remember the last time I've had a cozy dinner with my friend." The admission made Alice suddenly feel weepy, and she quickly turned to the table for two that had been set in her favorite parlor. A cheery fire burned in the fireplace, fighting off the evening chill, and a bottle of most excellent wine was waiting for them. Alice swallowed the lump in her throat as she poured 2 glasses without asking Shandlix if she wanted any, and she prayed Shandlix would not notice, or would at least pretend not to notice, her fragile state of mind. Composing her face, Alice turned to her friend with what she hoped was a bright smile and held out the glass of wine. Shandlix's face wore an expression of gentle concern, but thankfully she refrained from asking Alice what was wrong. Mentally rolling her eyes at herself, Alice took a deep swallow of her wine. There was nothing wrong, not really, not beyond the usual stresses and strains of being a sovereign princess in a fledgling principality that some parts of the world would love nothing better than to wipe from the map. And yet still, Alice was struggling as of late, feeling the isolation of a sovereign's role with more bitterness than ever. "I'm sure we can arrange to do this more often," Shandlix said. She smiled. "If you don't mind waiting until Chantanel is down for the night to have your dinner." Alice forced an answering smile and felt like the worst auntie in the world of the history of Sevenwells. Not that she didn't adore Shandlix's infant daughter. Of course she did. But it was impossible not to notice how thin Shandlix was stretched by the completing duties of motherhood and statesmanship. Nor could Alice fail to see that Shandlix often suffered from a melancholy that rivaled her own. Even as Chantanel absorbed so much of Shandlix's energy, she constantly reminded her mother of what she had lost. It hurt Alice's heart that her friend was hurting, and that she herself bore a great deal of the blame for it. "I don't mind it in the least," Alice assured her, "but I do remember how precious was my sleep when I was a new mother, so promise me you won't let me keep you too long." Shandlix grinned at her. Have your footmen led a litter so that they may carry me home when I start snoring at the table?" She took a sip of her wine. "And don't you dare pour a second glass for me unless you wish to see me face down in my soup." I like the relationship between Shandlix and Alice. They didn't come by it. They did come by it honestly in Women's Well. And I think that, Shandlix is also in a situation where basically the child that she has, Chantanel, is the love child of Alex's brother, Tynathal, and he's been sent back to Allwell to basically be the king there, kind of filling in. But yeah, Alice is going through a lot. There's so many twists and turns in this story, and it's really good read. And it's the 3rd book in the series, so I think it's the final book for now. I don't know if there's going to be a 3rd one, but there's still so much left undone, and I'm a little bit more than halfway through. But yeah, there's still a lot of book left, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's jump right into this episode. This episode, we're discussing the link between science and smiling. I think I smile more, but I'm not a heavy smiler. But I ventured into reading this article in hopes to see the links between smiling and the effect on how we're perceived, and if there even is one. Turns out, though, there is. I think the first time I heard anything about facial expressions and how they're used for learning was when it comes to babies. Babies are major mimics. They are constantly watching us and learning and processing what they see. So when you I learned basically when you talk to babies, it's helpful to, even if they only babble, it's building their communication skills as well as allowing them to interpret your facial expressions and make some of their own. The article, The Surprising Science of the Smile by Susan Cross Whitbourne, PhD, ABPP, discusses how facial expressions influence how people judge your personality and form misconceptions about you. Evidently, people find you to be way more trustworthy when you smile, and they mimic your smile as well, returning it. So I guess the cliches are true. You're never truly dressed without a smile, and when you're smiling, the whole world smiles at you. Moving on to what I'm happy and grateful for. Also, this article will be included in the show notes for you to read it as well. Moving on to what I'm happy and grateful for. I'm happy and grateful for seeing one of the regular people I used to see when I hike. This older man used to walk his dog at the same time every morning that I would be out there, and for the last couple of months I hadn't seen them, and I feared that. The last time I spoke with him, it was like it had rained like during the week or prior day. He basically said like, yeah, when it rains I don't bring her out. And the dog was an older dog, and I was like, oh no, like I feared that had not seen him, like the dog had passed away. And unfortunately, when I saw him the other day, he did tell me that she did pass away, but he was walking his daughter's dog now. And I told him it was nice to see you, and I said, I know, like I don't know you, but like I got used to seeing you on my hikes every on the weekends or whatever. And he was like, yeah. I said, she passed on. I said, but I'm back out here again. This is my daughter's dog. I said, it was nice seeing you. He said, you have a good day. And I said, yeah, too. Like those little interactions do matter to me, even though I'm a person like that tries to like stray away from those kind of interactions. But yeah, it was really nice to see him. The quote, a winning strategy must include losing. No level of success doesn't include losing. And if you think that your level of success isn't going to include failures in it, then you must not understand how success works. No one is immediately successful. Everyone has to work for it to become successful and achieve success. So again, success is something you achieve, not something that you just get. You don't just get handed success. You have to work for it. You have to achieve it. You have to build to get to it. But before I go, be sure to check out the show notes. Also, check out my books on Amazon titled Poems to Cry to in the Dark and Love Letters Never Sent to Myself, and leave a 5-star rating. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'm glad you're still here, and I hope you have the day you deserve. Bye!
One giant leap